have in the city of Utica and the Mohawk Valley that are Palestinians, how many Palestinian refugees we have. Some of them twice refugeed once from Palestine, refugeed twice from Iraq, hundreds and hundreds in this community, if not thousands. And then we see that the city hall raises up the Israeli flag, and then we hear that Palestinian students are getting suspended from school because they're upset that teachers in their school, in the Utica City School District, are flying the flag of Israel in the classrooms. We just want fairness. We just want equality. We want to have a fair share of the mic, a fair share of the representation. When we see in the news that the demonstrations in support of Israel are well covered by the Sentinel and by the different sort of news outlets, and we see that no matter how hard we try, we see that our efforts are minimized and ignored. All we want is a fair shake. All we want is equality, because we believe firmly that we are on the side of truth. And so we believe that if we were given a fair shake, if we were given equality, if we were given the mic for an equal amount of time, covered in the press for an equal amount of time, that we are confident that the truth would prevail. Because this is not an issue of Muslim versus Jew. That's a complete lie. It's not even an issue of Arab versus Israeli or anything like that. This is an issue of truth versus falsehood. This is an issue of justice versus oppression. And that's why this is a cause that every single person can get behind. And I saw one of the signs I saw, I forget who it was. Humanity stands with Palestine. If you go across the world, you go to South America, you go to Asia, you go to Australia, you go to Africa, you go all across the world, people understand intuitively. They understand intuitively because we've seen this playbook before. The playbook of lies, the playbook of hate, the playbook that tells us not to believe our eyes, tells us not to believe our ears, tells us not to believe things that we know very well. Like, for example, we know that the Israeli government lies. They lie about when they bomb hospitals. They lie about when they bomb schools. They lie about when they target civilians. Somebody said, for example, it's like there's an enemy everywhere. Was there an enemy inside the child's skull when you sniped them on the street? How can we're not dumb. We're not stupid. But they use the lies, and they have a platform, and they put pressure on our politicians. They have a very strong presence in Washington. They have a very strong presence in New York State with the senators and elsewhere. All we want is a fair shake. We bet on ourselves 100% of the time. If we had a fair opportunity to speak and a fair platform on which to show the world that we are 100% confident that people would come to the side of truth and the side of justice. So this is all that we want. We don't hate anybody. We just want justice. This is something that we see on CNN and on Fox News. We see active Israeli military personnel shouting their genocidal intentions, being extremely explicit with what they want to do. And people, like the news anchors and pundits, are trying to actually cover for them. No, you can't cover for them anymore. They've gotten in front of the camera and they've told everyone exactly what they want to do. They blame Gaza they blame all of Gaza. Every man, woman, and child in Gaza, they blame them. Every man, woman, and child in the West Bank, they want their land. And they are going to continue to steal and dispossess and rape and murder and kill if no one stops them. And for us in this community, first of all, in the United States, which just passed a $14 billion military aid package to Israel, to the shame of every single good-hearted person in this country and across the world.